Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Amber. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting a 30-day yoga challenge. Yoga, as most of us have at least heard of at this point, is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices, including breath control, meditation, and specific bodily postures, originating in India but now widely practiced for health and relaxation. The practice has become wildly popularized in recent years, not only for its health and wellness benefits, but because of how accessible it is to nearly any body in some form or another. Some of the benefits of regularly practicing yoga can include lessened chronic pain, lower blood pressure, reduced insomnia, increased flexibility, increased muscle strength and tone, improved respiration, energy and vitality, balanced metabolism maintenance, weight reduction, cardio and circulatory health, improved athletic performance, injury prevention and protection, stress management, mental clarity, body awareness, sharpened concentration, posture improvement, improved balance, and anxiety management. Many of these benefits are backed by extensive scientific research and studies, so it is not hearsay like a lot of people like to believe. For this challenge, I will be practicing a yoga routine every day for the next 30 days. I have personally chosen to practice a routine that is known as sun salutation, which is very widely practiced in several different variants, but I am going to be sticking to what seems to be the most general and basic form. You can do the routine too in several different speeds depending on what your intent is. Doing it quickly and in multiple repetitions is more stimulating, giving you more of a workout effect, whereas doing it more slowly and deliberately gives you a more relaxed, meditative result. I think I personally will be doing both: a rapid form in the mornings to start the day off with a boost of energy and stimulation, and a more slow meditative one in the evenings to promote relaxation and possibly help with sleep. So not only will I be doing yoga every day for the next 30 days, but I will be doing it twice a day at 2 separate times. I will be sharing my experience with you, whether it be physically or mentally, how I am feeling. My personal goal of the challenge is to potentially increase flexibility mainly and tone muscles, just get more into the swing of more extensive physical activities and working out and stuff, because I have in the past done yoga before. This will not be my first time doing yoga. I wanted to use this challenge as a way to get back into it, as a way to do small physical activity every day, which like I do because again, I walk my dog most days and stuff like that. But I want something that is just solitary for myself that I can do every day and have a minute to think and to kind of, accelerate that heart rate and get back into the swing of things, because I too also have in the past done fair amounts of working out, whether it just be, different arm workout routines at home, or like I have had gym memberships in the past and different things, but then life happens, so it doesn't work out as a long-term thing, and I want to get to the point of trying to force it into being a long-term thing. I would love for the slower in the evenings to maybe help with my sleeping patterns, because I do have terrible insomnia, so maybe this might be able to help with that some. And then in the mornings, I am also not a morning person, so I am hoping that maybe doing this in the mornings will kind of help me jumpstart the day. And then I would like to get more of a workout effect from it, because again, like I was saying, I would love to get some increased flexibility from this, as well as work on starting to tone, my muscles and get a little bit of definition, or at least, start strengthening somewhat, even if it is not super dramatic. Any little bit helps, obviously. And yeah, of course, if any of the other benefits happen to kick in, I'd love to see that. I will be sharing with you guys anything that I experienced throughout the month doing this challenge. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do the sun salutation routine, as well as showing you my before body, and we will get started with the month. Something that I feel like is important to note that I realized I didn't mention in the main intro is that not every body is built the same, obviously. Some people are smaller, some people are larger, some people are more flexible, some people are not flexible hardly at all, and they can be interchangeable. So like some larger people can be super flexible and some smaller people are not flexible at all. Every person and every body physically is different. So that means that what works for some people does not work for everyone else. Ideally, you do want to try and get the posture and the positions as close to proper as possible. Some bodies physically are not able to, such as myself. I am a larger person, and while I have more flexibility than some people, I have less than others, and I am also not that great at balance. So hopefully that is something that will improve throughout the month, but as it stands right now, some of the positions of mine are a little bit modified, and it also means that I can't go through the entire routine as smoothly and fluidly as someone who is smaller and more flexible and who has more experience. You know, I am newer to this and I am not terribly flexible and I am a larger person. So my experience doing this is not going to be as smooth and as pretty as other people's experiences. And that is 100% fine. It does not matter, you know, how good or how bad or however you want to categorize it, you know, this is you are. The important thing is if you want to do it, do it. However it works for you and your body. There is no shame in having to modify stances or positions or, you know, the speed and the rate and how you do it. It is whatever is the most beneficial to you, your life, and your body. This week has been a bit of a mess. Day 3, I did yoga in the morning, but then in the evening, I actually went to Emo Night Brooklyn. That's fine, because like emo night was way more of a workout anyways. Day 5, I didn't do any. My goal for the rest of the month is going to be, for the morning workout version, doing 5 sets of the routine at a fasterish pace. So that way it is like an actual workout. I think I've done that twice now, and it definitely is a bit of a workout for me. You know, it gets you a little hot and sweaty, especially because it's, you know, still the middle of summer. It's gross and hot. But yeah, it actually does elevate my heart rate a little bit. It probably takes 5 to 10 minutes to do the routine, you know, 5 times through. One thing I am definitely noticing is that it's kind of hard. One, just time-wise, to set aside, you know, 2 separate times of the day to be able to do that for yourself, but also like how much flexibility I lost. Because again, like I said in the intro, I have done yoga in the past, and there was a very short period of time for a while where I was doing it semi-daily, and I was starting to kind of almost get good at it-ish. I mean, like not really, but much better than I am now. Whereas now I apparently just have no flexibility left anymore and am struggling a lot more to do the routine. It would make sense if I like hadn't, you know, kept up with like physical activity at all since like in the last year when I was doing yoga. But it's not like I haven't done anywhere. Like I walk my dog every day. Like I'm not that bad. At least I didn't think so, but apparently I'm in worse shape than I thought, which is fine. That's why we're doing this. We're working on it. But I've been noticing that even just the once through is getting closer to a workout effect. Not to mention, you know, the 5 times through is like a real actual little workout. And my flexibility is completely shot. Like I have no flexibility. So I'm hoping that by the end of the month, hopefully I will have gained at least some of that flexibility back so I can actually get through the routine smoothly and effectively, because that's another thing I'm noticing too, is that since I lost that flexibility, getting through the routine is a bit jerkier and it's not really smooth or like satisfying. I have been perfect about it since day 5, which was the one day that I completely missed. But since then, I've been getting 2 separate sets of yoga every day, where I do the morning routine is like 5 reps of the routine, so it's more of like a workout, and then the once at night. So I've been doing yoga like the full routine all the way through 6 times a day. I have admittedly honestly been feeling like crap for the past like week or two, and I think it's like a combination of things. I don't think it's just because of the yoga. Well, doing the yoga has made me, you know, a bit sore. Like my body has just been very sore and drained. But I think that's a combination of 1, doing the yoga, 2, leftover, you know, from partying. And then I haven't like had a break. So like, cause I've, you know, after emo night, you know, did the super intense partying, and then I've still had to like walk my dog and do yoga every day. So my body hasn't had like a full time to like properly recover. And then I think I'm just getting sick because I've been like sniffly and like feeling borderline feverish for the past week or so. So that's been fun and definitely not helping. I am noticing that doing the yoga routine has slowly been getting easier. I am very, very, very slowly gaining my flexibility back, and I am very, very slightly getting more graceful at like running through the routine than I was. So like it's still not graceful at all. I'm not good at it, but slowly getting better. Aesthetic wise, like how I'm looking, and I know this is gonna kind of sound silly and like super dramatic because I've only been doing the challenge for 2 weeks, but I feel like I'm already starting to notice some differences. 1, I had kind of like thought I maybe looked like I was losing a little bit of weight, but I wasn't totally sure because like body dysmorphia and stuff. So I had mentioned it to my mom, and she had kind of reaffirmed and was like, yeah, I've been, you know, thinking that the last couple of days you look like you've been losing weight. And I was like, oh, okay. The last couple days, which is when I started my yoga challenge, so I wonder if it's already starting to take effect. On some more specific levels, 1, my collarbones, I don't know. Yeah, okay, see. I mean, I have always been a plus size person my entire life, so I have never been able to see my collarbones. And about right before I started the challenge, maybe during the month before I started the challenge, I was able to just barely kind of see them in like certain lightings, and if I was like super accentuating and like trying to make them visible, and I was kind of able to see them. But since starting the challenge, they have become noticeably more defined. Like you can't see them with me just sitting here, but like doing, you know, normal body things and movements and in the right light, like they are becoming very defined and I can feel them. With my biceps, I have never been able to see any like muscle definition, and I am slowly, just slightly, starting to be able to notice, like if I flex, you can see that like I am flexing, whereas you've never been able to tell before. Like I could literally do it and it like there would be no change. So you can kind of tell, but like only on this one arm. You can't really, maybe barely, almost, but like you cannot tell really with this side. Okay, and this might be a little bit TMI, but you know how like Dwayne The Rock Johnson can do the thing with his pecs where he like makes them, like he can flex them individually and make them wiggle? I can actually do that. And I could technically do it before I started the challenge, but it was very, very slight. So like it's not anything that I've ever shown anyone because like it's so subtle that I didn't want to be like, oh, look what I can do. And then it was like, oh, really? Like that's what you wanted to show people? Plus two, I mean, it's kind of harder because I have breasts and not pecs. But for giggles, I was doing it last night and I have noticed that it is very much more defined than it was before I started the challenge. Whereas like before it was like, yeah, I mean, kind of, that might be what you're doing. Whereas now it is like, oh, like you can do that. It's kind of still slowly getting a little bit easier, but I also kind of feel like I've come to a plateau. My flexibility hasn't been improving, but how I'm feeling, like as I do it, like it takes more repetitions to get me actually starting to sweat and more feel like a workout. Whereas originally it was kind of already doing that after like the first. Now it's starting to do it after the second run through, so that's slight improvement. Still noticing my slight differences, like the slight definition in my biceps and collarbones. I feel almost like I look like I'm losing weight in my face slightly, which is interesting and not what I would have expected from yoga. There was one day where I was babysitting my niece and nephew. Apparently my niece, who's like a little 5-year-old, has been doing yoga every morning, but they do it based off of a YouTube video, and it's a trolls yoga routine. Insert clips here because it's low-key horrifying. I did the routine because my niece wanted me to do it with them. It was an interesting experience. As an adult, I could not take it seriously and I was trying really hard, but there were still a few points where I just like kept dying laughing and like could not do it. And it was an interesting experience to get like a different yoga routine other than the sun salutation that I've been doing. I haven't gotten sick of it yet, but I'm worried that my body might be, like, because that's the only routine I'm doing and I'm not switching it up. I'm afraid that my body is just like getting used to it. I'm switching up what I am doing slightly simply because I came to like a plateau. I wasn't getting any better with the yoga routine really for like about a week now probably. Like at the very beginning I was like having progress and then I just hit a plateau. And I've been at that plateau for about like a week now where I'm not like feeling any better. It's not getting any easier. If anything, it almost feels like it's getting harder. And my body was just sore all the time and I was feeling terrible. So I decided to tone it back a little bit. So in the mornings, instead of doing it the routine 5 times through, I'm just doing it once in the morning and once in the evening. So I still am doing the yoga 2 times a day, but instead of doing like a full workout in the morning, I'm just doing the run through once through to kind of stretch myself out and get the day started. And I did that yesterday. So I've only done that once so far. I did that yesterday, but already just from that, I'm feeling so much better. Like my body is so much less sore. And my thought is maybe just like I needed a break from the workout, which I know it sounds silly to people who are either experienced with yoga or who might just be more fit than I am. And they're like, really? Like that's not that hard. But for me and my body, it is like a full body workout. If I do it 5 times through at like a quick pace, you know, by the end, I'm sweating. I'm, you know, feeling it. And you're not supposed to work out every day of the week. Like you have to give your body rest. So the fact that I was doing it every day, I think was becoming more detrimental to my body at its current fitness level than I was expecting. So I'm toning it back. I'm feeling okay-ish. The yoga routine is still, you know, slightly getting easier. I feel like it is not getting as much easier as I would like, if that makes sense, for the amount of time I've been doing it. But I do think that a lot of that is attributed to the fact that I have been just doing workouts every day. So I'm not giving my body time to recover. So instead of, you know, healing and progressing, it's kind of just angry. It is getting easier though. Like I am definitely better at the routine than I was on day 1, which I mean is the goal. Any improvement is progress. There's definitely some more improvement I would have liked to have seen But after the challenge, I think I will try and be a little bit smarter about it. For the first like 2 weeks, I feel like I was seeing like some physical differences, but I like stopped, and it almost feels like they've reversed slightly, like not completely, but like I feel like my collarbones aren't quite as pronounced as they were. My biceps are getting even more pronounced, so that's good. And then like for the first 2 weeks, I feel like I thought I was starting to look overall a little smaller, but then I feel like I stopped and even like gained it bad. Like, I don't know. 2, it doesn't help TMI, but I'm like currently on my period, so like obviously people bloat and do not generally have a good time when they are on their periods. So like I did have a week where I was just like PMSy, and then like currently I'm just on it. So that could be attributing to like physical body differences, because obviously people who have their period, like their bodies change a bit when they are on them. And like me especially so, because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which makes it like more dramatic, and I'm just on so many hormones that it makes it so much worse. I have officially finished my 30-day yoga challenge, and it has been an interesting experience. First off, we'll start with some totals. I did do 25 days where I did the yoga twice a day in the morning and evening. There were an additional 3 days where I did do yoga, but I only managed to do it one time. And there were 2 days where I ended up missing and did not do any yoga. In total, I did sun salutation 98 different times. And there was one day where I did troll yoga. So overall, I would say, I mean, I definitely accomplished what I was trying to do, which was to get back into the routine of yoga. It was fairly easy to get back into. However, as you will have heard throughout my vlogs, I was in a lot of pain throughout the month, which I feel like is not necessarily normal. And I think I figured it out today why I have been in so much pain. Yes, I do think it is partially from the yoga, or at least the yoga hasn't been helping it, because that was, you know, like a workout every day, and you're not supposed to work out every day. You are supposed to take breaks to give your muscles time to recover and to grow. So I think that is partially the problem when I continue to do my yoga, because I still love doing yoga. I do think it is beneficial. So until my body completely gets back used to it, I think I will either alternate days or only kind of do it once a day and maybe forgo the workout part of it until my body is completely like back used to it and is more flexible like it was in previous years when I was more active. Once I've hit the day 30 of the yoga challenge, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, take a chill for a few days, you know, stop doing the yoga to see how my body feels. And for like a day or two, just not having that workout, like my body was feeling better, and then it started to just feel exactly the same and like worse again. And so I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm thinking about it, like trying to figure out what in my life and in my routine may be causing this. And I realized that right now in my house, we like don't have any furniture, and I think that is what has been hurting my body so much, is just not having any proper support. Because too, like, we also don't have like a kitchen table or regular chairs. Like, we literally do not have furniture right now, and like my bed sucks, so there's just no body support in anything that I have right now, and I think that has a lot to do with it. So I'm definitely going to make getting some new furniture priority and see if that helps at all, and then continue to do my yoga, because I do genuinely think that is beneficial. I was starting to gain back some of my flexibility, even though like I was in pain. It was slowly kind of getting a little bit easier, and I do think that once I solve the furniture problem and get back into the yoga every day, I will be able to continue to grow with my yoga and continue to get more flexible and delve into some different types of routines. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I did not find out what I specifically weighed at the beginning, and I didn't end up taking specific body measurements. Quite frankly, I just couldn't be bothered, because that wasn't like, that's not my goal, isn't necessarily size change. I mean, well, that is definitely part of the process and part of the documentation to see if that changes at all. That was not my goal. My goal for this is more just how I am feeling. That being said, I think y'all kind of know where I am feeling. There was just a lot of pain. This was not the ideal time to do this challenge, but I didn't realize that until I finished the challenge. So I didn't want to have all this content and not share it with you guys. Again, by the end of the challenge, I did start to see some improvement in flexibility and how easy it was to get through the routine, which was kind of my main purpose of the challenge. I definitely wanted to improve some flexibility. I also wanted to see if I could gain some muscle toning. And while I haven't noticed very much specifically, I have noticed with my bicep, as you can see, I have that, but then I can flex and you can actually kind of see my muscle flex, which has never ever been something you've been able to see on my body. I have also noticed a lot more, you can't really tell because I'm wearing a muscle tee, but there has been a lot more definition in this area of my body, between my shoulders, my clavicle area, and my neck. You know, just when I'm moving and existing, you can definitely see a lot more definition, and it looks like it has thinned out a bit, because like especially with my collarbones and different areas, like you can see the bones more. I think because for the sun salutation routine, it is definitely very arm heavy. So that would also explain the bicep definition as well. So there have definitely been some small and slight improvements and results, not as dramatic as I would have hoped or would have been going for, but like I said, I kind of realized that the whole furniture situation is definitely being detrimental. Anyways, that was the result of me doing yoga every day for 30 days. Thank you guys so much for taking this journey with me. I had a blast hanging out with y'all. Peace.